Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're out the range to talk about the 270 popular cartridge, great American cartridge, in comparison to the new 277 Fury / 6.8x51 that the US military adopted with the XM7. Every time I post a video about the 6.8x51 and talk about it, people in the comments will bring up the 270 Winchester and say, well, what about 270? Isn't it just another 270? It's a repackaged 270? I don't know. So this rifle that you see here was sent to us for video. A couple months ago, we posted a video about the Ultradyne chassis system. This is a great chassis system. And this rifle we're going to send back. But before we do, I thought, well, let's do a quick video and do some shooting with the 270 Winchester. We have some Federal 130 grain ammo here. And granted, there's so many different flavors of 270 Winchester out there. I know some of you are going to say, oh my gosh, but you didn't use this load. That's the load we're going to use. Just get a basic idea of what it's capable of. I don't keep 270. This rifle is not mine. I'm more of a military cartridge type of guy, and that's what I've collected over the years. So we have this for the 270, and then for the Sig Fury, the 277 Fury, we have some 100, and this is 155 grain OTM high pressure stuff with the bimetal case. This is some 130 grain 277. This is the low pressure brass case stuff that we're going to shoot, which is going to be more comparable to that, I think, because it's 130 grain and this is 130 grain. And then we have some of the super hot rod 113 grain solid copper high pressure stuff here. And so we're going to fire all of this out of a couple of different firearms. So this is our 270. This has a 24-inch barrel. We have a 20-inch barreled Sig Cross, and this is in 6.8x51 / 277 Fury. And of course, we have the XM7 out here as well, but it has a 16-inch barrel. All right, so let's get started with today's video, get some velocity data. We're going to be using our Garmin Zero to get that data, and then we'll run it through a ballistics calculator and figure out what the foot-pounds of energy are between the cartridges and see, is it really just the new 277 Fury, just a repackaged 270? Let's find out.
A lot of folks ask me, how can I get involved in the firearms business in that particular community? And one of the best ways to do that is to become a gunsmith. Every gunsmith I know is just overbooked with work. It's a very good living. And so if you would like to become a gunsmith, you need to go to a gunsmithing school or become an apprentice for an existing gunsmith. But Modern Gun School is an accredited college that also works with veterans in the GI Bill, where you can go and get a degree from accredited college in gunsmithing and then go out and start your own gunsmithing business, which I think is a really great option. Again, throughout my entire life, gunsmiths have always been able to earn a really good living, assuming they have a really strong work ethic. So please check out Modern Gun School. I do have a link in the video description below.
All right, so we found one more box of 270 that we did pick up for the previous video we did on the Ultradyne stock. So here this is some Hunter Precision from Hornady, and it's a 145 grain ELDX. All right, so again, we got 24-inch barrel. Let's fire like 2 rounds. This thing's got a horrific muzzle brake on it. It's just brutal. Let's fire 2 rounds of the Federal real quick. And just do it the proper way. I'm going to pull that off. It's an AICS type magazine. All right. 2 rounds. Got the little Garmin here, and you're going to say, well, it's pointed at cardboard. It's radar, folks, and we've confirmed that it gives the same readings through the radar, or through the cardboard or not. It's invisible to the little Garmin there. All right. Let's see. Make sure we got that pointed down range. So first shot, we got 3,047 feet per second, which is on par, because this says 3,060 feet per second on the back of the box. So right there where it should be, that gives us 3,047. That gives us 2,680 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. 2,680 foot-pounds. I'll screenshot that. All right. We'll do one more. The 130 grain stuff. All right, pretty consistent. 3041. 2,670 foot-pounds of muzzle energy on that second shot. All right. Now let's try a couple rounds of this Precision Hunter. 145 grain projectile. 45. Change the bullet weight here really quick. (2,880 feet per second). That gives us 2,671 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. All right, we'll fire one more. 2,822 gives us 2,564 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. Hopefully I screenshot that other one. Can't remember if I did or didn't. Shucks, I don't think I did. All right, so we'll get set up now, and we'll go to the 68x51/277 Fury, and we'll see how it does out of a 20-inch barrel. Again, this was a 24-inch barrel. Let's see what the Sig Fury ammunition does out of a slightly shorter barrel. So next up we have the Sig Cross. This is the 20-inch barreled 277 Fury, or 68x51. I should just pick one. Let's just call it the Fury. So anyway, this is a Fury cartridge right here, fit into a shorter action than what the 270 Winchester fits into. So you can see there's a considerable size difference. Now, this is the 130 grain soft point. You can see it's in a standard brass case. We're going to start off shooting this. This is not the high pressure stuff. When I say the high pressure stuff, what I'm talking about is the stuff that's loaded into bimetal cases that can operate up to, in pressures up to 80,000 PSI, which is substantial. Okay, and you can tell the high pressure cases from the conventional cases by the little metal bottom that it has there to contain those extremely high pressures. All right, so it's operating at 20,000 PSI higher than most conventional cartridges. All right, so let's go ahead and set these aside. 270 out of here. We have 2 rounds of the, what I call low pressure conventional cartridges here. Let's see what it does. And this is the exact same bullet weight, but out of a 4-inch shorter barrel. All right, let's get the Garmin set up here. New session. Okay. (2,731 feet per second). So this is the 130 grain stuff. 2,731 feet per second gives us 2,153 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. Go ahead and screenshot that. We'll do one more. (2,738 feet per second). 2,738, which gives us a muzzle energy of 2,164 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. All right. So that was the low-pressure stuff, hunting ammo. Let's try some of the 155 grain. And this is a match load. All right, so the 155 grain bullet. And this is all we have to work with, guys. This is the stuff that Sig offers. It's pretty much everything they offer right now for the most part. All right. So, heavier bullet going at 2,843 feet per second. So what's that give us? 155 grain. 2,843. 2,843 gives us 2,782 feet per second. Okay, feet per second, foot-pounds of muzzle energy. 2,782 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. So we'll talk about this at the end of the testing here. All right, we'll do one more round. 2,844 feet per second, so just 1 foot per second difference, and that gives us 2,784 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. We'll screenshot that. And for our last trick, we have some of the super hot rod stuff that I've so far avoided shooting out of this rifle just because I don't want to foul the barrel with copper. But we got to do it for science. This is the 113 grain super hot rod stuff that we fired into ballistics gel that literally lifted the block off the table and made a huge fireball inside. If you haven't seen the video, you need to check that out. All right, so 2 rounds of 113 grain solid copper. (3,318 feet per second). It's 113 grains. 3,318, and that gives us 2,763 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. So really going faster, but it's a lighter bullet, and it's giving about the same energy. 3,289 feet per second. And that gives us muzzle energy of 2,715 foot-pounds. Okay. We got one more. We got a 16-inch barreled rifle out here. All right, because it's going to get to the root of where the difference is between the 270 and the Sig Fury. So let's break out the XM7 really quick with its 16-inch barrel and get some velocity data with it. All right, guys, so here's the XM7 in 6.8. This one has a 16-inch barrel. You know, you're going to find them with shorter barrels, things like that, but this is the shortest barrel 6.8 by 51 or Fury that I have. And we're going to start off with 2 rounds of the 130 grain standard pressure. Does not have the bimetal case. 130 grain soft point. Let's see what she gives us. 2,636 feet per second. This is 155 grain. Oh, I'm sorry, 130 grain. And 2,636. Gives us 2,006 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. All right, we'll fire one more. 2,609, and that gives us 1,965 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. All right. Next, we're going to go to 2 rounds of the high-pressure bimetal case 155 grain match. 2,757 feet per second. 2,757. And that's with 155 grain. So it's even faster, right, with a heavier bullet, which gives us 2,616 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. See what happened there? All right, one more shot. 2,755, and it gives us 2,613 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. Last but not least, we're going to put 2 rounds of the super lightweight copper high-pressure rounds through here. Again, we have the bimetal case. Make sure I have that screenshot really quick. All right. 2 rounds, 113 grain, high pressure, 16-inch barrel. Go! (3,187 feet per second). So we go down to 113 grain. 3,187. Gives us 2,549 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. $3,189 gives us 2,552 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. All right, so now let's analyze the data and see what we got. All right, so 270 Winchester, and we just pulled some of the velocity data. It's pretty consistent. So the 270 Winchester, remember, has a longer action, a longer cartridge, and a longer barrel, okay? And so if you take a look at the foot-pounds of even the 16-inch barrel, this is 8 inches shorter than the 270 Winchester in a gas gun. And with the best numbers, actually came in with the 155 grain stuff at 2616. You can see it's competing with the 270 Winchester with an 8-inch longer barrel, longer action, bigger gun. And that is the magic. And then when you take a look at the Sig Cross with its 4-inch shorter barrel with the same loads, we're actually outperforming the 270 Winchester with a shorter action, shorter barrel, and shorter cartridge. It's just amazing. So yes, is it like a 270 Winchester? In energy, it's very much like a 270 Winchester, which is a great thing. Everybody, for the most part, loves 270 Winchester. But it's doing it with a shorter cartridge, shorter barrel, shorter action, and a lighter gun. That's the magic of the high-pressure cartridges. Is it a game changer? Well, I guess that depends on your perspective. And I know some of you out there saying, well, I hand load 270 Winchester, and I go 10% over, max pressure, and I can do this, that, and the other, and I can get that. Great. You're still dealing with a longer cartridge, longer barrel, bigger gun, and you're not really gaining much, because whatever you can do with 270 Winchester, you could probably do with 277 Fury 2 if you're brave enough. So in the end, yes, ballistically very similar. But if you take a look at the other attributes of the two cartridges, the 277 Fury has a definite, noticeable, measurable leg up over the 270, not necessarily in ballistics, but everywhere else, right? So that's the magic of it, and that's why I think that this is probably the last big hoorah for gunpowder type firearms like this. We talked about this in our podcast that we did. Jason and I talked about the 277 Fury quite a while back, and we predicted that that's pretty much the only gain to this cartridge. And that's it. But that is significant to us. For me as a hunter, I'd much rather lug that lightweight Cross around the woods than a 270. The same rifle you saw out here is heavier, it's bigger, it's clumsier, and I can get the exact same performance out of a smaller, lighter rifle. So that's the magic. That's the reason why 277 Fury is cool. That's why I'd like to see this technology rolled over into other cartridges and stuff like that, because who wouldn't think about this? How about a M855 high pressure bimetal cartridge where you can take a 69 grain bullet and push that thing several hundred feet per second faster out of the shorter barrel? That's what this is doing, and that would be cool. So I'd like to see that rolled over into other cartridges down the road, and maybe we'll get some really cool stuff coming out of Sig and other companies that will pick this technology up and adopt it, hopefully. So if you have any questions, ask those questions down below. I do try to stick around for the first couple of days after a video goes live to answer the questions you guys may have. Also, right here on YouTube, you got the ability to subscribe to the channel or thanks button. Either way, click one of those buttons and you can help support us here on YouTube in the age of demonetization. Also, swing by, check out our Patreon page. There's a link in the video description below. Get access to me, early access to videos, and other perks. Check out our Patreon. Again, the link's down below. Thank you for 16 years of support. Swing by, check out Copper Custom, and we'll talk to you guys soon.